Hi there, Tug here from The Fishes and I. Hope you're safe and well. Today, as a follow-on from last week's video on me purchasing the G3 Atom. As I said last week, I want to sort of kind of get this board sort of sorted, and my ever mission is finding a fuzz that I'm happy with, obviously a distortion, and then also a boost. So that's the sort of three slots that we sort of need to. I need to get this sorted. I don't want to keep building new pedal boards, so I'm chuffed with the Atom. I've got my Cali 76, my Tumnus, Terraform and the Collider. Those are sorted. They're set in stone. So what I thought today, I'd go through the little fuzz pedals that I wanted to try out. I'll see what's going to fit in and hold loop number 4 in the Atom. So I'll switch around and show you what pedals we've got, and then the setup, and then we'll get cracking. I thought I'd just give you a little run through what I'm actually looking for in a fuzz. So we're not a super heavy band. We're a little bit grungy, a bit rocky, but what I'm looking for in a fuzz is when we're playing a nice big open riff. I'm looking for it to really roar, you know, like an open chord, hold a chord nicely, not flub out the amps too much. It's nice to be able to back the volume off. So in my head I've got, think Weezer, maybe Hash Pipe, you know, that song where it's really open. Now I know they tend to use sort of big muffs. I've got a big muff on the board here. So that's the kind of sound in my head, that nice open big sound. So it's not really going to be a demo of these pedals. It's just really, I'm just sort of trying to find out what one works for me. So it's just my opinions. I'm not sponsored by any of these brands. It's just me. I've spent my own money on these. Yeah, let's crack on, and I'll run you through the quick setup. Okay, so quick run through the setup. We've got my Vox, the Imperial Mark II, the Tone King. I've got my two main guitars with me. Not you can see them buried in the abyss there. So that's my Troublemaker Telly, and then my classic player Jag, who are the two humbuckers, and that's my C guitar. So the fuzz pedal is what we've got. Basically, I've just chucked up a mic in the room. I like to try and sort of capture the room sound as opposed to close micing, just so I'm trying to capture what I'm hearing, so you can hear what I'm hearing. Now, on the original board, as of January 2021, this was my the fuzz sound that I used, like a cranked dynamic distortion by Vertex. So I'm going to sling that back on and just make sure, okay, see if that is the one I'm going to go for. I've got the Mythos Golden Fleece, the Darkside by Keely. I'll just be doing the fuzz side of it, not the sort of delay or modulation. Or that is a really good sort of, maybe a good thing to have. I'm not sure quite what I'm going to go for. The other one is the Big Muff Sovtek Deluxe, and then underneath the board, which is currently in slot 4, where you can see it through the tangled mess of wires, is the Acapulco Gold. So they're me sort of 5 pedals that sort of I've running through today to try and make the decision. So okay, let's crack on. Okay, so first up we've got the Big Muff Sovtek Deluxe. Now I've tried quite a few different Big Muffs, the op-amp version, the Ram's Head one. Now the common thing with Big Muffs is it tends to be a bit too scooped in the mids, and you tend to you just get like sort of drowned out in a mix. Obviously we've got two guitars, so when Steve's playing with a standard big muff, I found that it sort of just you just come out of the mix basically. It's quite amazing. It sounds great in solo, and then they're just sort of in a band mix. You just get lost. So I thought I'd give this one a try. Obviously, when you engage it, it turns the I think it's like the green Russian big muff, but this has like the mids, and then you can set the Q, and then the frequency of mids. And then the level of mids. So there's loads of videos on this on the internet, on YouTube, with like full rundowns on it. I'm just going to sort of blast you through how I've sort of set it. I'll sweep the mids a bit, see if we can tweak it. Yeah, I'll play me clean sounds at first. So this is the Troublemaker Telly. This is me clean tone. So that's both amps are on there. I'll run through the individual amps as well. So this is with it on. So we've got the tone set sort of just past 1 o'clock. Now what I like about this is it's got a blend knob. It's really good because I in the room here I'm hoping this sort of picks up. But what I quite like a fuzz to do is not alter the sound too much, i.e. the core tone, and that blend knob's really handy for that. Let's just engage that again. Hopefully you'll be able to hear that. It kind of just adds the muff onto the already there sound, so that's what I really like about it. I've set the Q low. The high Q tends to be a little bit harsh, so I'll put the mids into the equation as well. Me playing that real bad. So hopefully you'll be able to hear that, how effective that mid sweep is. That's kind of sort of the setting I sort of found. The other really handy thing, it's got a gate built in, and it's really quite good. So that's with the gate off. So it's a little bit noisy. It's gone. It's really cool. As you can hear, the gate doesn't really cut it or choke it too early either, so it's really good. Yeah, I really like this pedal. Will it be good enough to make the board? Only time will tell. Okay, so we'll go on to the Vertex. I'll reposition the camera. We'll go on to the Vertex Dynamic next. I'm having right missions with setting the camera angles, so excuse the wonky donkey picture on this one. So this is the Vertex Dynamic Distortion in their sort of gump for the pedal. Basically cranking the gain round, they reckon sort of it's more of a fuzz face, turns it into a sort of a fuzz face circuit. You've got the tone, which is sort of fat and thin. We'll tweak with that a little bit. I've tried to sort of set it as loud as all the other pedals. So here's this one. I'll just play my clean tone again. So you can hear it does the job. Quite heavy sort of low end, I find. It's sort of the level's okay, but let's just try tweaking that tone up a little bit, thin it out a little bit. Snag, and this is why it came off the board for a bit. Don't know if you can hear that. Obviously it hasn't got a gate. I suppose I could put a gate on the pedal board, but I don't particularly like using gates. You'll hear there's that like little hum and little high pitched frequency when the pedal's engaged. I hope that picks up. It has put me off though, I must admit. So what I'll do is I'll put the dynamic on, out of shot now obviously, but we'll go back to the big muff and sort of compare the two. Not a million miles away from each other. Okay, the next one on the list we've got the Mythos Golden Fleece. Again, clean sound. So yeah, really good, sort of in the same sort of ballpark. I really like, there's some like frequencies that saturate on this pedal and it's really nice. It does flub the amps a little bit. Obviously I'm not sort of running at levels that I've got them both attenuated. Basically the master volume's right down on the Vox and the Tone King's really heavily attenuated. With the built-in attenuator on that amp, so we're not gig levels, we're not even rehearsal levels here, but it does sort of start flubbing that low end a little bit. And likewise when that one's on, a little bit noisy, try and get out of the way of the amps. A little bit noisy on that pedal. Compare it to the dynamic. So that one's just got that little funny high pitch thing on that one. And then obviously that one's got the Deluxe has got the gate up there. So we'll do a quick sound comparison. So Golden Fleece. Onto the big muff. So I hope you'll be able to hear that. It's fairly close between them. Golden Fleece does have some like rich harmonics it puts in. It does sound really nice. I should also say that the big muff, as most big muffs, like they just don't clean up. The Mythos Golden Fleece does clean up, and so does the Dynamic. So it's just a little guide there. Not that I tend to use the volume control on a fuzz. But it's just worth noting if you're thinking along the lines. Okay, so we move on to the Keely Darkside. Now this is the fuzz side here, so you've got level, filter, which is basically like a tone. You've got switches here for scoop, full, and then flat. So we'll just try those quick. For me personally, the full sounds much better on this pedal. Again, I've tried to sort of set it the same sort of level as the others. The filter, it's basically a tone control on it. I'm not going to go through the modulation and delay. Other people have done the demos on that, but we'll do a quick comparison of these four now. So this is the Keely. Mythos Golden Fleece. Dynamic. And that was the Sovtek. Okay, so as you can hear, they're all slight variants. I'm hoping you can hear this over the mic that I set up. In the room, they all sound really good, I must admit. Okay, so now last but not least is the Acapulco Gold. Now I've got it under the pedal board. As you can see down here, this is my little mini mic stand, just holding the phone in place. I don't want to move it because it's going to bloody unbalance everything, but needless to say, the Acapulco Gold is very similar to like the Mythos in the fact that it's got one knob, so there's not really much to show you. I'll put a little shot of the pedal up on the screen. Now I've got it set just past 9 o'clock because it's a flipping loud pedal, so I'll engage that. And what I'm doing, it's in loop 4 on the Atom, so that's all. When you hear, when you see none of the other pedals on, it will be the Acapulco Gold. That's the Acapulco Gold. As I say, not really many controls to show you, it's just one knob. But we'll do a quick comparison of all 5. So this is the Acapulco Gold going on now. Keely. Mythos. Dynamic. Sovtek. Back to the Acapulco Gold. So then, okay, final thoughts. I think I'm going to stick with the Acapulco Gold. It's in loop 4 as we speak, and I think I've made the right decision on it. It's got this like girth to it, but it doesn't really sort of flub out the amps too much. Obviously I play a lot louder than this in rehearsal and at gigs, but hopefully you could pick that up on the mic. I think a close second was the Golden Fleece. I thought that sounds really, really good. It does just tend to flub out that bottom end a little bit. That's the only sort of drawback to that. Yes, I could bring it back on the guitar volume, but again, the whole purpose of my rig is to give me as less to think about as possible, i.e. I can play and concentrate on my singing when I'm playing live. That's my sort of train of thought. So the Acapulco Gold sort of ticks the boxes there. It does clean up. I don't know, we didn't go through that. I was trying to sort of keep the video as short as possible, and we didn't run through the C guitar, but it sounds good on the C guitar as well. I think the Golden Fleece would sound really good on a Strat, because it's not going to push it so much, and then hence not push the amp so heavily. The Vertex Dynamic, the noise it makes really bugs me, and it's just something in the low end. It just doesn't sit quite right. I hope that comes out on the video and you'll be able to hear that. Now the big Muff, the Sovtek Deluxe, that it's definitely not going to come on the board, but I'm going to keep that in the studio, because where that would be really, really handy is layering a guitar on for a bit of a thickness on a sort of a heavier riff, say for example, and that little sweep of the mids it's got, that's going to be super handy. I like the gate as well, and then it keeps the recording as quiet as possible, so that's definitely going to be a keeper in the studio, that one, but not on the board here. I just still feel like a big Muff will get lost, even though it's got that mid frequency and the level I can bring up. It just starts to sound a little bit artificial or like manipulated for me, but in the studio that's going to be really really handy, I think. The other one, that Keely Darkside, I'm really impressed with that. That sounds really, really good, and I think having that option of the modulation and delay on the same pedal, that's definitely worth anybody considering for a pedal board, I think. Again, there's just something in that Acapulco Gold that just, it does sound more like amp-like, and I don't think it's even marketed as a fuzz, but it kind of in my head does what I want it to do. So I'm gonna stick with the Acapulco for now. And what I will say, if anybody's got any suggestions, please in the comments do make any suggestions of pedals that you've tried and you think would tick this box. Yeah, so okay, next time we're going to see what hits loop 3. This is my other main dilemma, is the distortion side of things. Until then, you take care, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.